Welcome to a new appointment with Club 100 Show. In this episode, we will talk about the recent news that have negatively impacted all markets, and we will try to understand what phase Bitcoin is currently in. Has the bullish trend definitively concluded? Let's find out together. Let's start right away with the biggest news of the last few days, which is that Chinese real estate giant Evergrande, a company with $330 billion in liabilities, has declared bankruptcy. For those who do not know, Evergrande is a real estate developer, the most indebted in China, which has filed for bankruptcy. Its problems are nothing new. In fact, the company already went into default in 2021 and then announced a debt restructuring program calculated at about $330 billion in liabilities. In these cases, when a very large company that has several debts falls, there is a fear of a contagion effect, and that its problems will go on to affect other sectors of the economy and the economy in general, which can then bring serious damage to the entire country. And now, since we are in an increasingly interconnected world, to the entire globe. Think that many see this situation as so serious that even Joe Biden has called China a ticking time bomb. But why would Evergrande lead to a contagion effect? I will explain it very simply. Since about the middle of 2021, which is the time when China's real estate debt crisis more or less began, companies accounting for 40% of China's home sales have gone bankrupt. Currently, eyes are on other companies in the sector, and the name that is mentioned the most after Evergrande is Country Garden. Do you know who that is? It is the largest private real estate developer in China, and the first symptoms of a contagion effect perhaps can already be seen, as Country Garden has issued a profit warning, basically stating that it will miss its upcoming targets and that there may be large losses. According to experts, Country Garden could have an even greater impact on the markets than Evergrande because of its size and exposure. Just think that China's huge real estate sector has long been a vital engine for the country's growth, and it accounts for up to 30% of China's gross domestic product, which is currently the world's second largest economy. Obviously, the government is thinking about corrective moves. In fact, the Central Bank of China lowered interest rates a few days ago, particularly those on medium-term loans, with the aim of lowering borrowing costs and especially to go and encourage banks to lend at more favorable rates. In all this chaos, there is another destabilizing element that not everyone pays attention to, which is currency. For although there is more inflation in America and the dollar has lost purchasing power, the Chinese currency against the dollar has depreciated even more, and this is another symptom of how much uncertainty there is in China and the fact that investors prefer to hold dollars rather than Chinese currency. All these factors make one rather think, and we all need to follow these events closely because they can strongly affect the markets. All these matters are not escaping him. Michael Burry, the investor who became famous for making a fortune betting against the U.S. economy during the 2007 to 2008 financial real estate crisis with subprime mortgages. Our dear Michael has not always been right in the past, but he is the typical investor who, when he wins, wins big. And although all eyes right now are on a possible default of the Chinese economy, he is betting against the United States. In fact, he has bet over $1.6 billion on a Wall Street collapse. Will this be a brilliant move that will once again place him among the financial visionaries? Time will tell who is right. Let us now turn to our beloved Bitcoin, which of course also reflexively felt the effects of this and other negative news affecting the markets in general. In the last video, we had identified a very important area towards $30,200 below which bearish strength was taking over, and having noticed quite strong selling pressure, we first opened a short on Solana, identifying an entry towards $24.50, and held it open until the take profit on support of a range just above $22. It was a very good trade, and all the people who followed were able to close in profit about 9% in spot, and even more for those trading futures. In the meantime, we had also pulled some lines on the BTC chart, finding some key points where the price could have gone if it had broken a trend line tested several times before, but this time it seemed to have run out of steam. In fact, after a few hours of our analysis, the price collapsed, almost going to the area identified just below $25,000. This is information you will be able to find for free in our Discord and Telegram channels, where, in addition to sharing our trading ideas, we post many guides on the various airdrops in progress, and currently new tasks have been released for the Scroll project, of which I did an extensive guide in the previous video. Scroll has entered the final phase of its testnet and will later launch the mainnet, presumably by the end of the year. I leave you below the link where you can find the guide I posted on Twitter with also the latest tasks added in the last few hours. We also posted another guide for the Tabby project supported by Binance and Aminoca brand, and that would seem to be another very interesting potential airdrop. For all NFT enthusiasts, we also have a dedicated section, and this week many Club 100 members received whitelist to mint the Groovies project for free, a project on Solana network of about 10,000 pieces, and the interesting thing is that we were able to sell shortly after the launch when the floor price was at 1.5, about $35. After that, the price literally collapsed. Look, now it even stands at 0.3. Here you can see how the floor price at launch was 1.5. All the channels I'm showing you are completely free. For those who want to join, you can find all the links in the description. But let's go ahead and see what Bitcoin's next moves may be. Wait! Are you joining the Club 100 team for the BitGet Kings Cup Global Invitational? Do you know what it is? Let me explain it quickly. All the best traders in the world will participate in this event organized by BitGet, and the tournament includes various competitions to participate in, such as spot trading, copy trading, demo trading, and especially futures trading. Each competition has a specific duration, but the entire tournament will last throughout September and October. This means that for the next 2 months we will be quite busy, and for those who are beginners, it's an excellent way to practice, especially with the spot trading and demo trading competitions. The prize pool is over $2.6 million, and for each specific competition, there are separate prizes at stake. If you want to participate, join the Club 100 team by clicking the link below. And if you don't have a BitGet account yet, through our referral links, you will get extra bonuses. You will also have access in our rooms, and we will trade together and aim to be as profitable as possible. If you're a beginner, don't worry. Join us, and if you want, participate only in the competitions where you feel more confident, like the spot trading competition or the demo trading competition where you can trade with virtual money. Everyone who joins our team and reaches at least $30,000 in trading volume can then participate in the grand final draw at the end of October for a H-135 helicopter, a Tesla Cyberquad, and an iPhone 15 Pro Max. There will be tons of other prizes to be won, including a draw for Lionel Messi's merchandise, as he is an official partner of BitGet. The first event will be the spot trading competition, which will start on the 1st of September, and registrations will remain open until 24 hours before the start of the competition. After that, it will no longer be possible to participate in this specific event. For this event, you will need to have at least 100 USDT in your spot wallet to join any team, and you will need to use only the main accounts and not the sub-accounts. The top 10 teams that generate the highest volumes will share the prize pool, which will be automatically distributed among active traders with at least $30,000 in trading volume. It will also be possible to use margin trading, but trading stablecoin against each other will not be allowed. So, my friends, if you like to sleep, keep on sleeping, but for all the others, I recommend clicking down below, and we will be happy to provide you with as much information as possible through our channels to assist you with the registration. Now let's turn our attention back to the Bitcoin chart. Currently, the price is hovering around the $26,000 zone after a significant drop in the past few hours. Personally, I have my eye on the range between the two key levels you see on the screen, which are $24,700 and $28,000. In this case, there are various possible scenarios. For instance, Bitcoin could start to rise slightly, testing the $28,000 resistance. If it manages to break through, a crucial point would be the resistance of the trend line that we recently broke downwards. I might expect a retracement back to $28,000, and from there, Bitcoin will indicate whether it's in a bullish moment, turning $28,000 into support for a rebound and potentially aiming for new highs. If those levels are lost, however, I would anticipate a return to the current zone. Another scenario quite common in these periods is for the price to fake a support break, surge upwards, and then perhaps follow the path just described. The last most bearish scenario involves breaking the current support at $24,700. At that point, I wouldn't rule out a descent to around $22,350. One thing I always like to emphasize is that I often see traders entering trades based on level breakouts. Yet, especially in times like these, the best strategy is often to buy and sell on bounces. Many breakouts are false, and you might get caught in losing trades. Throughout this bear market, I've been trading ranges, and I continue to do so. However, even with this approach, you need to be careful with your stop-loss orders. Price often breaks a level on which you might have opened a position, triggers your stop-loss, and then reverses in the right direction for your trade, leaving you out. So, I recommend paying attention to studying price action, which will help you navigate these situations. Well, now I'll address some questions you've asked me in the past few days in various Club 100 channels. What's my position on Bitcoin? Currently, I have an ongoing long position from around $25,500 that I would like to carry up to the $28,000 resistance. However, I'm absolutely ready to exit the position if the price breaks the current support at $24,700. Of course, I would wait for the daily closing and decide on the next steps. If the $24,700 level is breached downwards with possible confirmation, I would look for a trigger for a short position, perhaps on a retest of the new resistance, aiming for take profit at new local lows on key levels. Now, I would like to share with you what I think and hope will happen in the medium to long term. By looking at a Bitcoin chart with a weekly time frame, let's consider the last 3 bull run cycles. We'll start with the one in 2013, where after reaching a peak of $1,250, the price dropped to a minimum in January 2015. The price then bounced by about 70%, only to decline again and retest the previous minimum, from which a parabolic surge led to the bull run ending in December 2017. In 2018, the price plummeted to form a bottom around $4,000 in December 2018. Here, too, there was a bounce, and after about another year, the price retested more or less the zone of the previous minimum. Again, this triggered the latest bull run that took the price of Bitcoin to $70,000 in December 2021, followed by a decline for about a year to touch $15,000 by the end of 2022. Now, no one knows if we will continue to go down or up, but I would like to show you something. If we go back using the tool of time cycles and draw a wave that starts and ends with the first bottoms of the first and second cycles we just looked at, once drawn, it provides us with other arcs. And now we will draw vertical lines. Let's place a vertical line on the bottom of the bear market in 2015, another vertical line on the bottom of the bear market in 2018, and one at the end of the next arc. Now let's see where the third line falls. There you have it. It falls at the end of 2022, precisely when BTC crashed to $15,000 before rebounding strongly. Is it a coincidence? Of course, I don't mean to say that exactly what has happened before will happen again, but in charts, the past often helps us understand the future. This is why I want to share my personal thoughts. I believe that another significant drop will be necessary before we can talk about a genuine rise in price toward new all-time highs. I would like to see another major crash down to $15,000, which could start from current levels or even slightly higher levels. The price might even break the last low downward before turning and restarting in a parabolic manner towards new highs, as Bitcoin has shown us before. Amidst all of this, I anticipate another major default by a significant player in the crypto sector. I don't know exactly what or when, but for instance, I've been closely monitoring the situation of Binance lately, which seems to be facing various issues on different fronts. Binance Connect was closed on August 16th, and there are increasingly more countries where it won't be possible to use the Chinese platform. I had already shared my viewpoint on my Twitter page, where I showed both what I've just explained and also how the Nasdaq is in a really extended situation and could genuinely start a long descent. We will see what will happen. We will always be here at the forefront and operational, whatever happens. We have come to the final goodbyes, guys. Thank you all for listening to the Club 100 show. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, I invite you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to be updated on all upcoming videos. If there are any specific topics you would like to hear about, please post them below in the comments. I would like to remind you that we have a completely free premium section in our Discord and Telegram channels where you can interact with lots of professional traders and where trading ideas and study paths are released completely free of charge. For those interested, there is a link in the description with all the specific information. That's all for this episode, folks. See you next time.